10 seconds, 30 seconds. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Station Daily exclusive AMAs. And just a quick introduction about myself. And I'm Station Daily, a founder of Daily 84 and the host at CoinCDA TV. So if you have been following our AMA series, so you know we host the top mind like CEO of my network and the CEO of Guy and the head of global of Bloom. And today, I'm super excited with have with us Kanny, the founder and the CEO of SecondSwap. So additionally, after today AMA, we will be launching a mini challenge for the Vietnamese community. Share this AMA and connect your wallets and play your first bird on Avalanche. So eligible for special early supported reward. Just the first question for Kanny. Kanny, before we dive into the AVAX update, so let's rewind a page. You had acquired attorney from the DTC pay to lead in OSL, right? So the first licensed digital asset exchange in Hong Kong. So what led you tackle to the 100 billion dollar market token market and please create SecondSwap?
Thanks, Jason. I'm excited to be here. I'm actually live streaming directly from Dubai right now, from Token 2049. So you can see in the background, maybe it's not, you can't see all the people here, but there's about 15,000 people at the event today. It's a record-breaking attendance for Token Dubai. And you would think at this rate this year, Bitcoin's probably at $1 million. But no, it's only around $87,000 to $90,000. But there's a lot of interest in the market, and I guess to what led me to this stage is that I've seen a number of cycles since I started in crypto in 2018. And with each cycle, every time it goes up or goes down, you see there's always been an increase in the number of participants into the marketplace. So there's a lot of excitement this year, especially with all the maturity and the regulation that's now coming into the markets. Having done this for a number of years in the crypto trading industry, where I've started at OSL, where I was a director of a public company that's listed on Hong Kong Stock Exchange, trading crypto assets, all the way to DTC Pay, where I was a former group CEO. I've led regulated businesses in the crypto areas for a number of years. And what has happened every single cycle each time is that there's always some winners and there's always some losers. And in order for us to evolve and to increase the number of participants into the marketplace, there needs to be a way for retail to win. Having invested into token projects myself, what I've always found is that you want to sell, you want to basically sell when you want to, not when you have to. So that's always usually at the bottom of a cycle. So when you're up, 10x, 20x, 100x, you're like, great, I'm here. Let me sell my token. Cannot, because it's locked until a certain time. And what you're seeing, because of there's so much interest in the industry, this year, 2025, there's about 1 million tokens being minted on a weekly basis. Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong, said 1 million tokens being minted on a weekly basis. So the velocity of tokens has increased. And then on top of that, you have the number of tokens have exploded in recent years, with the value of tokens just unlocking in 2025 to be 37 billion. 37 billion worth of value unlocking just this year. Everyone's focused on trading the liquid markets. You trade on a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange, but nobody is looking at the locked token market, where tokens have essentially been locked so that before the unlock, you can actually trade those allocations. So we're here at SecondSwap to develop a new market way for retail to actually compete with VCs and trade at an upstream price, just like the VC does.
Yeah, good. So, this is the hard question for you, Kanny. So the Mars traders usually involve just a buyer and a seller, but SecondSwap brings the user into the equation. So how the three-way model actually works? It seems like a win for all three parties, right? The buyers, the sellers, and the issuers. So how you build this system to balance all sides so smoothly, Kenny?
Yeah, Jason, that's a great point. Most businesses involve what we call just matching buyers and sellers. Exchanges just match the buyer and the sellers to create an order book with a matching engine, buyer and seller. You go to a traditional OTC desk, you're interested to sell, I find someone interested to buy. What that doesn't involve with is actually the underlying token, the asset that is being traded. You want the token issuer to say, listen, I'm aware of the token that is being sold. It's my token. And in order for them to support the marketplace, is that we want to eventually create a verified marketplace where the token foundation is aware of the sale. There's efficient price discovery for people to find out what is the value of this token in the locked token markets. And instead of just saying matching buyer and seller, we bring the token issuer into the equation to say, we want you to back and support this platform so that buyers, especially some retail buyers, are very interested to come in because they feel safe and secure that I'm buying from a marketplace that is backed by strong foundations.
I got you. So, be honestly, the game will create for the wealth or the retail. So, how chances for retail to win this game with the SecondSwap, Kenny?
That's a great question. This is something, to be honest, that we're trying to solve. You could see that in 2025, there's been a lot of Bitcoin dominance. Why? Is because people are afraid of alts. They see that the VCs continue to, release there's a lot of selling pressure on a lot of altcoins, and you don't see the alt-season coming back at this point. So in order to have a healthy, efficient market, you also want retail to win as well. If someone's buying, $100 worth of tokens, $1,000 worth of tokens, you want them to be able to get the same price. And how we do that is that we actually aggregate buying orders so that they can also compete from a size perspective. Right? So if you just buy $1,000 worth, it's not going to change the price. But if you buy $10,000 worth, $100,000 worth, well, then the seller says, okay, I will give you a discount or even a bigger discount because your aggregated buy is much larger. The second part of it is if you hold the token longer. If I'm selling you the token, but you have to hold that token for another 6 months or another 12 months, then it's worth a discount as well. So one way or multiple ways that we're getting retail buyers to compete with VCs is that actually they have to think like a VC. They have to invest in a professional long-term way where they're able to hold the token for a long time and aggregate the orders to compete with how VCs and professionals actually buy.
Right. So appreciate about it. So I've personally tried the platform. So it's very different from the traditional DEX. So could you walk us through the building project on the SecondSwap step by step, please?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. We don't work in a traditional method because we're not trying traditional things. We don't want to be just another DEX in the market. We want to dominate the locked token markets. And one way that we have in our user experience is that when you go in and you're looking for, let's say, a token, your favorite token, and you want to say, I want to dictate the price that I was willing to pay for it, you put some controls and mechanisms inside so that the price isn't too far off. It's a reasonable amount. So the first thing we do is that we tie it to spot price. It's always going to be a discount to spot. Just like any other DEX, you connect wallet, you accept the terms and conditions, then you choose the network that you like, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Avalanche or Solana. You choose the right network, and then you locate the tokens of your choice. At present, we're working with mostly like the layer 1 foundations, the Avalanches and the Solanas, and you'll see their token up on platform. But over time, you'll see other tokens within their ecosystem to be listed. The first step once you have the tokens that you like, you choose the price that you want to bid for it. Bidding is a very important component of a healthy, efficient market because it shows price. When I go to a seller and says, how much do you want for this token? The seller usually says, well, I don't know. How much do you want to pay for it? So what we're doing here is we're solving the other side of the equation. You say, bidders, buyers come in, show your price, what you're willing to pay for it, and then we'll get the seller to say, okay, based on what people are bidding, I'm comfortable to set my price at this discount level. And then you have a quicker way to match orders from our perspective.
Cool. So it's such easy to use the SecondSwap platform, right? As the special thing, we don't use the money at the first time, right? Just bidding, and we'll confirm in the Telegram connecting with the SecondSwap platform, right? So no more money for the first time to connect and bidding, right? Now I think this is the special thing with the SecondSwap platform right now. So Kanny, the SecondSwap model so special compared to traditional limit orders or OTC deals.
I would say it's kind of the inverse of your traditional OTC deals, where you're not actually putting a limit order. You're putting essentially a bid order. How much am I willing to bid for it? And this way we get the seller to show how much they're willing to sell it for. So after this point, you're able to look at all the lots that we have on our platform and say, I want to buy this lot, because to make it easier on a decentralized user experience is to use time-weighted discounts. So the more you buy, the bigger discount you get. The longer you're willing to hold, also the bigger discount you get. So there's no back and forth really. Once we know what the price discovery, once we know what the seller wants to sell it for, then it becomes a partial fill where you can buy as much as you want. And the more you buy, the bigger discount you get. It's an efficient market. There's no back and forth. There's no need to talk. This is the price. But the great thing about this is that you can actually get the tokens physically delivered to your wallet upon the unlock. So you come back to our platform, claim the token, and now it goes delivered directly to your wallet. There's no side agreements. There's no worry about you not getting the tokens. It's all on chain via smart contracts, and you get that delivered directly to the wallet that you paid for. Paid with.
That's cool. So Kanny, if you don't mind, I will speak a little bit of Vietnamese here. So there is so local audience, so can follow along more easily. I'll always switch back ever. Just a quick head up, right? Everybody, mọi người ơi, hiện tại là mình đang livestream với Kanny thì trong quá trình mình livestream nó cũng sẽ có những cái câu hỏi hay, là mình sẽ chọn những câu hỏi hay thì cuối buổi livestream mình sẽ pick những cái câu hỏi đó để mà chọn ra để gọi là good question đó, sẽ được reward ha. Đó thì mọi người hãy đặt câu hỏi đi, hãy give us a question đi, rồi xong rồi Kanny sẽ trả lời ở cái cuối buổi livestream này ha. Rồi mỗi người sẽ được từ 10 tới 20 đô trên một câu hỏi hay á mọi người ha. Đó là tổng phần thưởng cho 5 tới 7 câu hỏi là tầm đâu đó 100 USD ha, $100 for the best question, right? So come back to with the Kanny, right? So here. So Kanny, you've launched Avalanche season, right? So what make AVAX the right choice, and what are user bidding on the right now?
Sure. Yeah. Where we want to work with is well-known layer one foundations. The purpose of our go-to-market is to identify foundations that understand that building sustainable liquidity is just as important as building liquidity. To have it sustainable and to open up the ecosystem and everyone that's in the Avalanche ecosystem is very important to them. The second thing is that the activity of Avalanche sits about 50 million unique wallets on a daily basis. They have about 1.3 billion in TVL, and the largest part of it is that they have a lot of bridge transaction activity, 6.3 billion of bridge activity across. So number one, they're interoperable. they recognize that liquidity doesn't just sit in the Avalanche ecosystem. You want to have liquidity interoperable across different blockchains. In 2025, there are thousands of blockchains coming up, just like there's millions of coins that now exist. So fragmentation of liquidity is a very big issue. So having a partnering with a network like Avalanche who understands that interoperability is important was one of our choices. Number two is that they've been doing a really good job in terms of real world assets. They're really bringing strong use cases from the traditional world on chain, and that makes it easy for consumers to understand where they are.
Yeah, that's cool. So let me set the screen with the Vietnam audience about the Avalanche on the SecondSwap right now. Okay. Mọi người có thấy màn hình không? So just the more for the Avalanche season on the SecondSwap platform right now. Just here. So Kanny, let's talk about the price recovery. Why is it such a crucial element in this type of the market, and how does the SecondSwap help create fair pricing, especially in the case of Avalanche?
Great question, Jason. Price discovery is important in every healthy functioning market system. If you don't know what the price, then you risk overpaying or underpaying. For us here at SecondSwap, we want to create fair and transparent markets with the locked token markets. So in order for people to understand, then you have to build that price discovery in, because it's normally going to be a discount. Why? It's because the buyer is expected to hold the token a bit longer. So that's something that in the liquid market it's not, because you get the token right away. So you can walk away and then you can resell it on a different exchange. So where we are, the buyer holds it for a little bit longer. The seller gets to realize their position earlier. So they're like, oh, okay, I'm a little happy because I don't have to hold it for six more months. But the buyer also has to hold for a few more months. But if you're a buyer and you're already long the position, I already believe in Avalanche. You're sitting at about $22 right now, and you believe that's going to go to 25. Why not go long with a discount? There's no other place that you can buy locked Avalanche token anywhere in the world today. You can only get it on SecondSwap today. So we're excited to offer this to your listeners and to your viewers to get an exciting chance to purchase this. We've set up in a way where you have different durations. You have 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. The longer duration that you're willing to accept, the bigger discount you get. The shorter duration and the smaller discount. Simple as that.
Yeah. So the next question, I think definitely about the product. So the product list is still small, Kanny. So what's the roadmap for the expanded inventory in the coming months?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we just started, so the list will grow longer and longer and longer. There's been a huge amount of interest across different layer ones and different tokens. Every single token foundation project that I've spoken to said this is a fantastic idea. It's something the market needs. And we're getting there. We have a long pipeline of tokens that's going to be coming onto the platform. Within Avalanche, you're going to see more Avalanche type tokens that are going to be in there. As we launch new layer ones, like for example, Solana, Solana season is going to come up pretty soon, and you'll see more Solana tokens on there. So what we realized there for users today, they may not actually care about which network it is. Eventually, they just want to buy their favorite token. So for us, our job is to get as many layer one support as possible to list your favorite tokens. But what I can tell you is that there's no other place in the world that you can get locked tokens today.
So this is the screen of the SecondSwap platform right now. So everybody try to voting with the AVAX right now, and let me show you here. Just a second, Kanny, for the Vietnamese audience and the global audience. This is the screens Avalanche and just a little bit Vietnamese. Mọi người ơi, đây là cái platform mà Avalanche đang triển khai Avalanche Foundation nha, chính gốc đang triển khai với SecondSwap để mà chúng ta giống như là chúng ta đi pool vậy đó, chúng ta mua được cái token Avalanche, thay vì bây giờ là giá 21 đô thì có thể chúng ta mua rẻ hơn 20 đến 50% so với cái giá hiện tại trên thị trường. Thì tất cả mọi thông tin đều mang mục đích chia sẻ và không được xem là lời khuyên đầu tư như các bạn nhé. Và đây là cái mà cơ hội mà SecondSwap đang mang tới cho tất cả mọi người dùng nếu như mọi người thích Avalanche Grant, Avalanche Foundation thì mọi người có thể tham khảo mà thử đặt bớt đi thì không tốn tiền đâu, không mất tiền liền, nhưng mà thử để mà có cái vé whitelist. So first of all, it's a real pleasure to have you here, Kanny. So yeah. So everybody tries placing a bet now at the SecondSwap.me AVAX and VN. So no upfront fund needed, right? So, but if your price hits and you get the first access, the world's testing everybody, huh? Okay. So get wallets early and secure priority access before the sale. Everybody, please, and every information just for sharing and DR and not financial, not advice financial, right? So I come back to Kanny. We just focus about advertising, so we have to focus on the real question for you. For user new to boarding, Kanny, is it smart to aim for a huge 50% discount, or is there a better approach?
The fantastic part of it is that if you want to get a 50% discount, you can. You will likely have to bid for a longer duration. So this is a market where you can dictate the price, you can choose what you want, but realistically, the seller is going to sell to someone that gives them the best price. So if you can get even a 5 or 10% discount, a lot of people are happy. Some people want to go for the moon and say, I will only give you half off. Now you imagine you go to Vietnam and you say, hey, you know, when you bargain with somebody, I'll only pay half. Usually they say, no, I don't want it, right? So we also want the buyers to be realistic about the price. But if they're willing to hold for much, much longer, typically you will get a bigger discount. The more you buy, the longer you want to hold, the bigger discount you get.
Okay. Just a little Vietnamese Kanny, please. Mọi người có thể đặt cái giá, ví dụ như bây giờ AVAX đang 21 đô, mọi người có đặt giảm hơn 50%, tức là around $10 or to the 10 or $30 for one AVAX, right? Nó hoàn toàn có thể. Tuy nhiên thì nếu như tốt hơn thì có thể là từ 20% nó sẽ khớp lệnh dễ dàng hơn. Tuy nhiên là các bạn có thể có quyền được đặt 50%. Nếu như khớp lệnh thì sau khi khớp với cái người mua, người bán giảm với cái giá thấp hơn 50% cho AVAX như vậy, nó sẽ hiện qua cái thông tin qua Telegram của các bạn. Các bạn không cần phải bỏ tiền ngay từ đầu. Nếu như các bạn tới lúc đó nữa các bạn mới cảm thấy là muốn mua thì mới mua cái AVAX với một cái với cái giá nó thấp hơn 50% so với thị trường. Tuy nhiên thì hồi nãy Kanny có nói là change to short term mindset to the long term mindset thì tức là thay vì chúng ta trader ngắn hạn thì chúng ta tư duy dài hạn for a long term trading, right? So chúng ta sẽ có được một cái giá nó thấp hơn, và chưa kể là thị trường sắp tới, ví dụ như mà nếu tốt hơn thì mình còn có cái khoản AVAX nó tăng giá. Tuy nhiên nếu như thị trường nó tệ hơn thì chúng ta vẫn có thể là có một cái entry nó đảm bảo có thể là nó an toàn hơn so với những người khác khi mà mua AVAX trên thị trường, trên các sàn khác mà không phải là SecondSwap. Đây là Jason dịch lại cho các bạn dễ hiểu cái cách hoạt động của SecondSwap ha. Đó thì rồi, okay, we come back to you Kanny right now. So after placing a bird, why do the user need enter their Telegram handle? So how does this affect their wallet's priority on notifications?
Yeah, I will encourage everyone that's bidding to include the Telegram, because we want to notify you of your winning bid. There's no other way in Web3. We want to spam you with emails. We just want to let you know that the lot that you bid for, the price that you bid for, you're now eligible to buy the lot. So it's very important. And as we get more tokens, like you mentioned, there's not a lot of supply today, but as we get more tokens, we want to notify you. There's another token listing. There's another token listing. So we want to give you and your viewers exclusive access and notification that the best deals are coming your way.
Okay, I got you, Kanny. So, let's talk about the bigger vision, Kanny. So, beyond Avalanche, what next for SecondSwap? You that's you mentioned about the Solana, right? The Monad. So it is going to become a recurring playbook.
Yeah, we're having very, very positive conversations with a number of layer ones, which include Monad, Arbitrum, a number of tokens that we'll see pretty soon in the platform. But what we do know for sure is that by June, we're going to be making a very interesting announcement along with our partner Solana that will introduce them the start of our Solana season as well. So there's great things coming in the pipeline. There's always interesting and newer layer ones. And within each ecosystem, there's a number of tokens that all our users can actually get access to. So, and also there's always new blockchains that come up every day. So our team is working very hard to secure the best tokens and the best chains for our users.
Yeah, so I chose to pick a good question from the Vietnam audience. So Ding Chu, he asked that with the 50% under the AVAX price for the scale 50%, so any guarantees are risky for the buyers? Can you get my question?
Sure, yeah. This is when you bid, there's no money exchange. So you just have to have a wallet that can bid a token. So you don't have to have any USDT inside your wallet when you bid. You just submit a bid. This is my wallet. This is my Telegram. This is how much I want to bid. If you qualify to win to buy, we will notify you, and then you will have to connect your wallet to buy. Even at that point, when you're ready to buy, it's optional. You don't have to, but you'll have won the exclusive right to buy a locked Avalanche at a discount. So you can still choose at that point later on. But as we know, this is going to be a very hot sale. You can't get locked Avalanche anywhere in the world. So I think you'll be pretty excited to get that if you were eligible to win.
I got it. So Kanny, they asked about the artists, the second party, about the artists that liquidity. How can SecondSwap protect their liquidity? And any artist, the third party will protect the access.
Sure. I think in terms of audit, you can see on a website that our smart contracts are audited by big name, very well-known audit firms such as Zelic. They went through our smart contracts because anytime you put any tokens on chain, you want to make sure that the security and transparency is confirmed and viewed by a third party. We post all our information on our Git book, how to use the platform, who's looking at the platform, what the parameters, the how-to guides are all there. But in terms of your question about liquidity, our liquidity is supported by our users. The lots that are put up, they're not huge lots. I think the protection is that if you want to put $500 or $1,000, it's okay. But sometimes for decentralized exchange users, they might be afraid to put even more, like let's say $1 million or $10 million. Actually, maybe that's the question. The smart contracts are scalable. The size and the number, the quantum, essentially is all math-based. And we have had a full smart contract audit performed on our platform.
So, got you, Kanny. So, are there any risk for the buyer in the SecondSwap platform?
Yeah, sure. In terms of risk, I think it's always there's always going to be DeFi risk involved. Especially, let's say, and this is actually not a risk. This is actually just a market force. If you buy locked Avalanche and you have the token that's vesting in 6 months, and the price goes down, then when you unlock, the price might not be the same that you bought it. I don't know if that's particularly a risk, but it's a market risk. It's not an operational risk. It's not something where you'll lose the claim to the token, but there are market risks anytime that you trade on a decentralized exchange. Our job is to reduce the operational risk for you, for the users.
I got you. So just a little bit of Vietnamese, please.
Sure.
Again. Bạn Đinh Nguyễn ơi, thì anh Kanny bảo là cũng sẽ có cái risk từ cái market á, cho nên là mình trading đó, mình cũng theo cá nhân Jason nghĩ ha, cho là các bạn cũng nên tự có một cái personal portfolio cân bằng ha, balance your portfolios ha, để mà tránh những cái market risk đó. Rồi còn cái SecondSwap thì cũng có audit ha, cũng đã audit, thì để mình mở lại cái màn hình. I'm going to share the screens about the avalanche season here, right? So can you see the screen? Okay. Just logging with SecondSwap and this is the person to burst on avalanche season here, and we will go into this screen here. Just a second. Here. Yeah, this is the main screen about avalanche season. So to just connect your Telegram and just make a burst. No more, the SecondSwap, no check your money, and just a free birding. Yeah, right. So the audit is by the Zelix. Everybody can research about the Zelix information after the meeting, right? After the AMA. So that's all information about the SecondSwap right now with the avalanche season. Okay. Mọi người, ở đây là cái platform để mà mọi người link cái Telegram lại, sau đó là thử burst, nhưng mà thử đặt giá của Avalanche với cái giá rẻ hơn từ 20% tới 50% so với giá hiện tại, thử xem, chứ không có mất tiền gì cả. Tới khi nào mà có người mua, có người bán cho bạn với cái giá thấp như vậy á, thì sẽ thông báo qua cái Telegram nha các bạn. Đó, thì sau đó thì các bạn sẽ quyết định là có nên mua hay không. Đó, cho nên là đó là những thông tin mà Kanny muốn chia sẻ với mọi người. Thì đó, và Jason cũng xin nhắc lại là mọi thông tin đều mang mục đích chia sẻ và không được xem là lời khuyên đầu tư. Các bạn nên nghiên cứu kỹ mọi thông tin ha. Trong cái buổi livestream thì Jason sẽ cố gắng là hỏi xoay những cái người mà trong core của dự án đó, thì Jason sẽ cố gắng hỏi giúp mọi người nha. Everybody, and so I'll remind for you that all information just for sharing and on your portfolio, please. Okay. Come back to Kanny, please. The next question for you is, so you also hint that Arab 3.0, right? So how is SecondSwap pioneering a new tokenomics model?
Yeah, great question, Jason. What we know that is in the current cycle where airdrops and airdrop farmers, that way the model of distribution hasn't entirely worked. Once you drop an airdrop to a bunch of wallets, you can create an instant TVL or daily active users. But the active users, what are they actually doing with the token? They're selling it right away. So there's no sustainable liquidity for the token. They're just gonna airdrop it to a million wallets, and the million wallets will sell it. What does that do to price? To increase the selling pressure. What we're advocating here is that instead of giving away tokens, you lock the token and you put it up for sale at a various discount. So this way, the person that buys the token, believes in the token, understands the token, is willing to pay something for the token. And as you know in life, nothing comes for free. If you're willing to spend, even $1, even 10 cents for something, there's a lot more. You will tend to hold that token a bit longer. The yield or the liquidity is more sustainable for the token issuer. So locked token distribution for the purposes of airdrop in a form of a sale is superior because it aligns interests. You actually qualify. You actually filter out the people that just just airdrop farming, and you actually find the people that actually want to buy because they believe.
Yeah, that's cool. So the next question for you, here, is SecondSwap participating in any upcoming events in Vietnam? Please, Kanny.
Oh, sorry. Yes, we are. We are going to be at Da Nang at the Solana Summit on June 5th weekend. So that's our next date. I think, Jason, you were just telling me about GM Vietnam in early August. Maybe there's something that we can do there to speak and connect with the viewer base that you have there as well. So we're really excited for Vietnam. Some of our team is there. It's a very it's a country where the adoption rate of crypto is pretty high. So we're really excited to be present more in Vietnam.
Yeah. Tức là mọi người ơi, tức là có thể là cho SecondSwap sẽ join cái GM Việt Nam trong đầu tháng 8 tới, trong năm nay 2025 thì đó, và một số những cái event khác ở Việt Nam. Đó, thì okay. I just told them that you maybe in the upcoming plan you will come to and join the GM Vietnam in the early of the August in 2025.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
And maybe in some event in Vietnam celebration in this year. So Kanny, we have to move to the live audience questions right now. So now it's time to pick 5 live questions from the audience, Kanny.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So do you want to pick yourself, or I will have you pick one by one?
Maybe you pick for me. Maybe more straightforward.
Okay. Okay. I got lots of questions from the beginner of the AMA. So let me scroll up. Here. This is the first question. Oh my God. I think this is the question that everyone want to ask you about the token, SecondSwap token. Okay. Will SecondSwap launch a token? And if yes, how will early user benefit compared to those who join later? Please.
Yeah, Lisa, OG Crypto Space, that's a great question. Every decentralized exchange has a token. And yes, we will have our token as well. It will be a decentralized exchange token called SecondSwap. We will be looking to launch a token and list that token later this year. How will the early users benefit from using compared to those join later? We don't want it to be, an all or nothing proposition where the early ones come later. There's going to be equal benefits for those that use our platform, those that come early. Usually what you have is you run campaigns. Every single campaign, there's a benefit to that campaign. We'll clearly spell out what the benefits are for using each campaign. First one could be discounts. The second one could be more user incentives. The more you buy, the more tokens that you come across, and the more that you claim on our platform, the bigger bonus of SecondSwap tokens that you get. We'll be publishing our tokenomics and more details about our SecondSwap token closer to the summer. And perhaps when we go to GM Vietnam this August, that will be a great time to share a lot more information directly to your viewers, directly to your audience.
Yeah. Nói chung là cũng có kế hoạch list token đó mọi người. Tuy nhiên mọi người cứ join cái Avalanche season right now, thì những cái mà các bạn thao tác trên nền tảng đó, nó cũng sẽ giúp cho các bạn tích trữ những cái transaction đó, rồi mọi người, rồi đó cũng là cái để mà quy đổi ra token trong tương lai. Maybe thôi, cái này không chính xác, là Jason tự suy nghĩ nha. Đó, còn sau này thì có thể là dự án về Việt Nam, GM Việt Nam maybe thì sẽ có nhiều cơ hội để mọi người có thể nhận được cái cơ hội tham gia mua cái token sớm của SecondSwap. Thì bây giờ cũng chưa có thông tin nào rõ ràng hết mọi người. Ok, nói tóm lại là chưa rõ ràng về cái token nha mọi người nha. Chứ bây giờ mà nó nói công khai gì cũng không có tốt cho SecondSwap lắm. I said that you have plan to upcoming plan for the token issue, so no clearly information because that keeps like secret for the upcoming plan your strategy. So I said to a Vietnamese audience that they have to active in the SecondSwap platform, and there's transaction will be the proof to make more point, and the point maybe will to get a token in the future maybe. Yeah, that's all. Right, this is the first
Yeah.
way.
I was like, come to our platform because there's actually something you want, not just for the benefits of a token. I think a lot of businesses suffer because they're giving the token away as an incentive reward, but they're not worried so much about the business model. So there's real value to come to SecondSwap. You can get access tokens. You're one of the top tokens, top 10, top 20 tokens at a discount. So if you come here, you see real value in trading and using our platform, you'll get rewarded not just by the benefits of getting our token in the future, but also the fact that you actually get your favorite token at a discount. How cool is that?
Yeah, let me translate for Vietnamese audience. Tức là sắp tới nó còn listen nhiều cái dự án level 1, những cái dự án nói chung là performance cũng khá là tốt để mà SecondSwap sẽ chọn lọc, cho nên là các bạn nếu mà đặt cái wording đặt bot mà có những cái transaction hợp lệ thì nó cũng là một cái để mà mọi người có cơ hội nhận cái token để quy đổi trong tương lai. Cơ bản là như vậy nha mọi người nha. Nói chung là cứ sử dụng SecondSwap platform và chọn những cái layer 1 token mà mọi người thích, sau đó birding, sau đó thì quy đổi thành điểm để mà cơ hội nhận SecondSwap token trong tương lai. Ok ha, tóm gọn lại vậy nha mọi người nhớ là Dior ha, not advance, không phải là lời khuyên đầu tư nha các bạn nha. Rồi. So next for the second question, please. Here. What makes the SecondSwap different from the OTC or vesting markets like Helix or Evo? So why should use a trusted model? Please.
Oh, great question. It sounds like B3B really understands how this looks. The first thing is that OTC markets are typically pretty efficient. They're opaque. There's very little transparency. All these transactions are typically happening off chain. So what we want to do is to bring that trust back to the on chain, and not just be permissionless fully, but we want permission. We actually want to seek support from the token foundation. So this is something that they're aware of. So it's very different from the models that you see out there, like Helix or even the Avo, where they primarily focus on different vaults and provide you, access to go long via perpetuals. You can compare it to another popular platform like a Whales market, where they typically list every single token. Sometimes the token issuer doesn't even know. They find out, hey, you listed my token, and then you're also using collateral to manage it. So as you know, using collateral to manage your token exposure can be very inefficient because you can get liquidated. You have to monitor the price constantly, and you don't know if you're actually going to get that token. On SecondSwap, you will get the token because it's already on chain. So you will see the claim coming to you. You're buying the allocation of token. You get settlement real time. The buyer pays the money. It goes directly to the seller real time. The seller gets the token, and we swap, and we give you the token allocated directly to your wallet. It's a physically delivered token as opposed to what I call a synthetic. There's no funding rates. You get the actual token. You get it backed and verified by the token foundation. How fantastic is that?
Yeah, got you. Tức là Kanny nói là đây là cái transaction on chain, làm việc trên on chain chứ không phải là offline, không phải là off chain. Nó thì SecondSwap là ở trên on chain, cho nên là mọi cái transaction đều clear. Cơ bản là như vậy, cho nên nó sẽ an toàn hơn cho anh em không phải là giao dịch OTC. Thì OTC thì OTC market very rich because it's the off-chain, right? So with the SecondSwap, we make the transaction on the on-chain. So it's very clear to everybody for the three parts like a SecondSwap, buyer and seller, right? Đó tức là sẽ rất clear cho mọi người trong cái việc là giao dịch trên trên cái nền tảng, giống như mọi người sử dụng một cái sàn DEX, sàn SEX, ví dụ Binance chẳng hạn. Binance mình đang mặc áo này nó cũng đang giao dịch token, đó cũng là on chain. Thì SecondSwap là cái DEX thì họ cũng giao dịch on chain đó, cho nên là ok, nó rất clear là như vậy, cơ bản là như vậy mọi người nha. Nó Jason cố gắng dịch lên cho mọi người. So we go into the first question. Here. Rosalind. So my question is, if I'm new to this, should I just put 50% and half the best, or is there a smarter way to approach it?
Oh, absolutely. There's a much better way than smarter way to do it. Bid with what you're comfortable with. If you just put max 50% each single time, the probability of you getting, just like I mentioned earlier, you don't, when you buy something off somebody, you want to give them the best price that you're comfortable with. And the easy way to do that is to look at the spot price, look at where the token is trending. If it's continually going up, the seller is going to say, well, this is a hot token. On our platform, we're pushing tokens that people want. So if you know that it's a hot token, Avalanche is a top 12 token in the world. And it's a very hot token. So if you're bidding 50% off on a very, very hot token, the probability of you getting it is not very high. So, but again, rather than bid with what you're comfortable with, I would say bid as close to spot as possible. But again, we'll look at all the bids. We'll make those bids that are fair and strong bids to be eligible to win.
Rồi, ok. Thời gian thì có hạn á mọi người, cho nên là Jason sẽ cố đi qua nhanh thêm 2 câu hỏi nữa ha. So time is limit, right? So I will go through the four questions right now. Oh yeah, here. What function does SecondSwap have? Is the liquidity speech fast and added transaction fee highs?
Yeah, great question, Newman. The transactions on the functions on the platform as of today, we have real-time settlement. So the fantastic thing is that we accept currently today USDT ERC20. So when you are eligible to buy, not now, you bid on the right token. You don't need any cash in there. But when you're ready to buy the token, you can buy the allocation up to, and you could use a slider just to choose how much of that token you want. The price is based on it's a token discounts, and then you allocate as much as you want. The settlement happens real time. You'll see immediately once you buy the allocation, it goes into your My Assets page, and then you can claim the token upon the unlock. The transaction fees are listed on the platform. It's a few percentage points to the buyer and the seller. So it's very, very, very fair. Not just the buyer pays, the buyer and the seller both meet and they pay.
Yeah, got you. And maybe this is the last question for you, Kanny. Let me do this. You wanna pick one? Kanny?
Sure. Maybe let me take a look at these questions.
Just tell me the name.
Yeah, maybe there's one from Jasmine Nguyen.
Jasmine, right?
Yeah, Jasmine Nguyen. She had a pretty good question about the relationship.
Here, let me see. Too many questions right now. So Jasmine Nguyen Jasmine, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What is the relationship between the SecondSwap and Avalanche? Would you like a brief explanation of the relationship as well? Okay.
Yeah. Well, we just issued some PR. We announced it on stage at Token 2049 about Avalanche and our launch into Avalanche season. The foundation has now invested into SecondSwap, so you might have seen that in the PR. It's a strategic relationship. They recognize that our platform can actually create sustainable liquidity across the whole ecosystem, and every layer one blockchain wants that. So that's the number one thing. So when you're looking at different type of tokens, you know that it's supported by the layer one. It's not, a third party. We're just listing some token that exists. It's actually real backing. So in order for us to ensure that the relationships between us and the token issuers are strong, you also want to get to a place where it's like a verified marketplace. It's not just any marketplace that has everything. You want to be able to purchase tokens in a safe and secure manner. And over time, what you'll see is that we're going to be introducing more native Avalanche tokens onto our platform. There's a lot of interest to obtain liquidity from the different tokens, and we want it to be sustainable. So stay tuned. Follow our Twitter for new tokens that will be listed. You can join our Telegram community for any other additional questions that I didn't get to today. So I'm sorry that we don't have the time to capture all of this, but I'm sure we'll post all the links to our community. You can follow us on Twitter, and we'll give you the notification and updates as all the great and fantastic things that are coming to us here at SecondSwap.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, Kanny, so could you please say a few words in Vietnamese? So mọi người ơi, share this cái AMA event này, sau đó thử connect cái ví của bạn á với cái với cái Avalanche season. Sau đó xong rồi thử bước thứ ba là thử birding, tức là đặt một cái giá thấp hơn cái giá của Avalanche so với thị trường hiện tại tầm 20-50%, thử xem coi thử có khớp lệnh được hay không thì sẽ có thông báo về cái Telegram của bạn. Đó thì bạn thử như vậy thôi, thì đó cũng là cái cơ hội cho 20 người khi mà share cái AMA này á, thì sau đó thì inbox station thì inbox Jason inbox Jason Facebook or Jason daily on X and Twitter sẽ nhận được cái whitelist. Ok, mình sẽ cố gắng xin những cái whitelist từ dự án để cho 20 anh em đầu tiên inbox cho Jason nha. Và các bạn nhớ connect trước cái Avalanche và nhớ chuẩn bị USDT ERC20 ha. USDT ERC20 có sẵn trong cái ví ha. Đó, USDT mạng ERC20 á, để sẵn trong cái ví. Thì các bạn để đó làm phí gas chắc nó cũng rẻ thôi, và dùng cái đó để mà birding á, để mà chạc nếu như mà bạn birding thành công, nếu mà bạn mua cái AVAX với cái giá rẻ thành công thì dùng cái USDT ERC20 ở đó để mà thanh toán á, maybe. Thì có thông tin chi tiết thì Jason phải hỏi sau đi ha mọi người ha, tại vì thời gian nó bị giới hạn á. Ok. With the global audience, so top 20 lucky participants will receive the exclusive early supported rewards. The detail will be announced post-campaign. Okay, so Kanny, so thank you for your time, and thank you so much for turning and sharing all these insight about SecondSwap and Avalanche relationship with SecondSwap, and thanks to the all Vietnamese and the global audience for your amazing support. So let's make SecondSwap Vietnam community strong together. Okay, thank you for your time, everybody. Thank you, Kanny. So do you want to tell anything with the Vietnam audience right now?
Yeah, my Vietnamese is limited, but I could say more Avalanche. LFG.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, Kanny. So cảm ơn mọi người rất nhiều. Bye bye. Have a good time, Kanny. So maybe you have the good news for ours, right? And the SecondSwap user.
Totally. Thank you very much, Jason.
Bye bye. Thank you.